Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Scott is off this noon. Our top story, 3 children taken to the hospital after a 4-vehicle crash involving a school bus this morning in Sarasota. It happened about 8 a.m. near the intersection of 301 and 17th Street in Sarasota. Police say the children only suffered minor injuries. All of the other kids on board were transferred to another school bus. The school district says they were going to Brentwood Elementary School. Police are still investigating what caused that crash in the first place. Our other big story, the latest in the Broward County school shooting. 911 calls have now been released, and the suspect has withdrawn his not guilty plea. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the story.
911, what is your emergency?
Hi, my daughter just texted me from school. She's at Stoneman Douglas, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, and she says there's an active shooter.
We're hearing the frantic 911 calls as 17 students and teachers were gunned down.
She says she's behind the desk right now, but the shots were close. Hopefully she's going to text back right away.
The shots was close to her?
Yeah, close to her.
Okay,
She's behind the desk.
One call coming from inside the school.
Martin Stoneman Douglas High School is being shot up.
It's being shot up? Are you at the school? I can't hear you. Are you at the school?
Parents desperately dialing 911.
And he said, shot. Mom, God.
Okay, we do have a call put in for dispatch. There are multiple police officers and fire rescue on the way out there, okay?
In another call, you hear a mother talking to her child inside that school.
I love you. It's going to be fine. Can you hide somewhere? Can you play dead? If he shoots, we need to play dead. If he shoots, play dead.
And we're now hearing more transmissions from school resource deputy Scott Peterson.
I think we got shots fired. Possible shots fired. 1,200 buildings.
Peterson has since resigned after the sheriff said he took no action while the shooting unfolded. According to the sheriff's office and their new timeline, Peterson responded a little more than a minute after the first shot was fired.
I hear shots fired by the football field. Shots fired by the football field.
Shots fired by the football field. Heard.
We're looking at the 1,200 building. It's going to be the 300 building. It's going to be right off of Holmberg Road by the senior lot.
Peterson's attorney says he believed the shots were coming from outside any of the school buildings. It took law enforcement 11 minutes and 15 seconds to eventually enter the freshman building after the first shot was fired.
And happening today, Governor Scott will meet with some families of the victims of last month's school shooting. The meeting comes as the governor debates signing a bill that would increase school security across the state. The most controversial part of that bill allows specially trained teachers and staff to bring guns to school. The measure would raise the age from 18 to 21 for the purchase of rifles and also impose a 3-day waiting period. The $400 million plan includes mental health screening and services. The student accused in the Broward County shooting will be arraigned on Wednesday on the 1-month anniversary of that February 14th massacre. Nicholas Cruz faces 34 counts of murder and attempted murder. His lawyers say he will plead guilty if prosecutors agree not to seek the death penalty. The 19-year-old is being held without bond in a jail where he is segregated from other prisoners. A public defender describes him as deeply disturbed and emotionally broken. Meantime, back in Tallahassee, legislation aimed at tackling the state's growing opioid epidemic is moving forward. If approved, a 3-day limit will be placed on prescriptions for the treatment of acute pain. The bill would require physicians and staff to check with a statewide database before prescribing or dispensing drugs. Now, the bill would also earmark nearly $1 million for improvements to that database, known as the Prescription Drug Monitoring Program.
It is a painful subject that many of us have experienced in our communities, people we know, people we love. And I'm just so grateful for everyone's support as we've moved through passing of this bill.
The bill will now return to the House for final approval after the Senate added an amendment including more than $50 million for outpatient and residential treatment. Update now across the country, an update on the second nor'easter that left almost 1 million people without power. Forecasters say a third big storm is expected early next week, but for now, people up north are assessing the damage of the last 2 storms.
I think it was a little bit more than expected, but I'm not surprised by it. It's just the way it is here in New England.
The latest storm killed at least 2 people. A woman from New York was hit by a falling tree in her driveway, and another died from driving over an active power line in New Jersey. So unusual for 3 storms this time of year, John.
It's not unusual to get big storms in March. Nor'easters. Yeah, no, some of the biggest in history have been in March.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it's not unusual. But to get 3 successive ones in a short period of time, and you know, there could be a 4th on the way. That is kind of unusual.
Yeah.
That is kind of unusual. Hopefully the next one won't be as large an impact, and it's still possible it could avoid the Northeast completely. But what it will do is help to provide us with a chance of seeing some stronger storms around here as we head into the end of the weekend. Certainly not today. Today's beautiful. A lot of blue sky out there today. And despite the fact that we had some very chilly morning temperatures in the 40s in most locations, we'll warm up nicely this afternoon under the influence of all that sunshine and a little bit quieter wind flow. We'll probably get up to the upper 60s today, even low 70s in some inland locations. So a pretty nice day on tap. Got some cloud cover pushing southward. You can almost make out the big wheel of high pressure building over the state of Florida, providing us with all the sunshine and the fair weather. That is eventually going to have to give way, though, and it will give way to rain showers, which is desperately needed. Red flags are up in Manatee County and in Charlotte County because of high fire danger. Little rainfall would be good, but hopefully no severe weather. We'll talk about the potential of severe weather in a minute, Ray.
To money now. Jeff Stern joins us, and strong week and more good news today on Wall Street.
That is correct, Ray. Definitely a good week. The S&P and the Dow, NASDAQ all are strong. So right now we're looking at the S&P up about 2%, while the Dow is 1.5%. NASDAQ's leading the way as we would expect, around 2.5% for the week. So the big news today, the job report came in for February. They were expecting around 200,000. Guess what, folks? 313,000 new jobs. That's great. 4.1% for the unemployment. They were thinking it was going to drop to 4, but 4.1 is still well below full employment. Growth rate 2.6% over last February, 2017. So wages are growing. That's positive, and we look at that 10-year Treasury still hanging around 2.9%. All positive. I woke up this morning, the futures were positive, so let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average 25,159, up 264 points, 1.07%. NASDAQ trading higher as well, leading the way, 7,511, up 83 points, 1.12%. S&P green as well, 2,767, up 28 points, 1.05%.
Shaking off that recalibration from 2 weeks ago, it seems. That's good news.
Definitely.
Well, Samsung continues to invent, and they've got a new TV set coming out now.
That is correct, Ray. We know Samsung's been in the news a lot for their washing machines catching on fire to their phones exploding. I had one of those, but the new TV is coming out. And a real cool thing, the QLED ambient mode. It's going to mimic the colors as well as the patterns of the wall around it to match the interior decor. All you're going to have to do is take a picture of your mounted TV, and it's going to pick up all the colors and the decor around it, so that should be pretty cool. You can also upload your own picture, or there's going to be some preset images as well. Also, it's going to be able to play music, tell time, weather, even some news highlights if you want to have that going around. So more like a piece of art. There's only going to be one cord, so it's going to have a real clean look. Voice animation through Bixby, that we'll see how that really ties into the whole home automation, as well as frames, so it's really going to look like a picture frame. In August, they're going to come out with a 146-inch TV. It's going to be all modular, so you're going to be able to place it where you want.
146, not many choices where to put it.
Different modules. So,
on the roof.
Yes, exactly. It'll be interesting.
It's
Samsung's been a great stock, as you know, 50% over the last year.
50?
50%.
Now you tell me. Tell me 2 years ago next time.
I'll tell you next time.
All right, have a good weekend.
Enjoy yours.
Thank you, Jeff. Still ahead in your Suncoast News, a dispute over health coverage could impact local users of Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We'll have the latest. And the latest on President Trump's announcement he'll be meeting with North Korea's leader. Stay with us.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
After a very chilly start to the day, we're on our way to a beautiful afternoon. We're at 65 degrees already at the airport, 62 in Venice, 61 in Bradenton, Parrish, and Lakewood Ranch, the same, 61 Longboat Key, 62 Myakka, and 61 Wauchula, 62 Arcadia. So temperatures, generally speaking, are kind of closing in on that mid-60s most everywhere. Dew point value, ridiculously low. We're at a dew point value of 27. That's about as low as it gets in the dead of winter. That is desert-like relative humidity. And frankly, it feels pretty good. Although we could use a little extra humidity around to kind of keep our nighttime temperature a little warmer. And I think we'll see that over the course of the next 24 hours. Northeast wind now coming in at about 10. Top it out today at about 68 degrees or so. Maybe some 70s around the area as well, low 70s. 62 degrees by the time we hit 7 p.m. And I think despite the fact that we warm a little bit more today than we did yesterday, I think we'll start to see those temperatures kind of fall off pretty quickly during the evening hours because of those low dew point values. Be down near the 50-degree mark during the overnight low and toward tomorrow morning. So another chilly night in store for us. I think we'll start to see the moisture begin to increase as well as the cloud cover as we head into the next 24. But for the rest of today, our futurecast shows us being very dry, very nice, evening hours being mostly clear, but gathering clouds out in the Gulf waters. Then as we head into tomorrow morning, I think we'll probably see a few more clouds around perhaps during the morning hours, but still I think we'll squeak out most of the day on Saturday okay. Then as we head into the afternoon and evening, the clouds begin to increase. We'll increase the chance of showers during the second half of Saturday, especially Saturday night after dark, and then factor in a building shower and thunderstorm complex out in Gulf waters. Now, there's still some confusion in computer models about what to expect, but I do think we'll see coverage on Sunday begin to increase pretty markedly, and our rain chances spike up to about 60%. The Severe Storms Prediction Center says we have a chance of seeing severe weather across the region, about a 5% chance. That's up from yesterday, and we may be up a little bit higher as we head into Sunday. Sunday could be a first alert weather day And I caution you to keep a close eye on the forecast over the next 24 hours as we begin to get more computer models and refine the forecast. Northeast wind at about 5 to 10 knots, increasing east to about 15 as we head into tonight. Those winds will be picking up over the weekend as well. 68 degrees, our temperature today. Tomorrow, 75, warmer but clouding up. Don't forget clocks forward on Sunday morning at 2 a.m. And we'll watch Sunday carefully for the potential of severe weather. It'll be a first alert weather day. That all clears out on Monday, and our temperatures begin to drop as a cold front moves through, and we'll see most of the work week next week, at least the first half of it, spent in the 60s for daytime highs with some lows in the 40s. Back to you.
Thank you, John. On to Health Smart now. Florida Blue Cross and Blue Shield policyholders could be affected by ongoing contract talks with Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Our Stephanie Webb has details of the negotiations. Stephanie?
All right, that is right, Ray. Now, if a contract renewal agreement isn't reached between Sarasota Memorial and Florida Blue by March 31st, then their entire healthcare system will be considered out of network. And for you, that could mean higher copays or more out-of-pocket costs if you're on a high-deductible plan. Now, in the meantime, policyholders recently received a letter from their providers directing them to 6 other hospitals in Sarasota and Manatee counties.
I'm just feeling a little bit of uncertainty. I'm waiting to have some procedures done, and if they fall after April the 1st, what happens? Where do I go? Do I have to start the whole thing all over again? You know, it's just uncertainty.
There really aren't many other alternatives to what Sarasota Memorial can provide, and there certainly are no other alternatives to Florida Blue. So it seems to me that they have to be able to figure out a way to work this out.
Now, the hospital did release a statement saying that they can't guarantee exactly when an agreement will be reached, but they are optimistic that one will be done by the deadline of March 31st. Well, the hard work and heavy lifting is done, and Tidewell latest hospice house is officially open today. They held the ribbon cutting earlier this morning for the brand new $5 million 12-bed, 22,000 square foot facility in Lakewood Ranch. It was built and designed with a home-like atmosphere in mind. Large family areas, this kitchen that you see right here, plus a reflection room and a centralized nurses station as well. Now, that new facility is available to patients for both short-term and long-term care. Ray?
You do some great work at hospice. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, time for lunch. Today, Chef Judy is at Max's table on US 41 in Osprey. Judy?
I have to tell you, Ray, I think after one of your tennis matches, you really need to head down here. Max's Table is the new restaurant that took over where M&D Restaurant was for many years. This is, when I say new, the building has been totally transformed. It's almost cottage in style, breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. And when I tell you there's a waiting line every single day, there's a waiting line every single day. Since we've been here, there's been 2 turns completely between outside and full inside. You're going to see all their delicious food. It's a family affair, so stay with me. We'll be coming back with Angela, one of the owners. She'll tell you a lot more about Max's Table.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
All right, time for our pet of the week. John's with Marcia and a large Akita named Gideon. Guys, take it away.
What a beautiful dog this is, but I swear you could saddle this dog up and ride
Ride
him
him
down to
around
the
the-
You
yeah,
sure
you
could.
sure could.
He is a big boy.
Isn't he? And you know, he's as sweet as can
Yes,
be.
hi, honey.
And with this
Hi.
double coat, he's enjoying this weather because he's very, very insulated with
What does
this.
that mean, double coat?
Well, he's got an upper top coat, and then underneath that, there's another coat of fur.
Which all Akita breeds have. Right?
Yes, yes, yes. And they occasionally, we say, they blow their coat, and during that time, you know, they kind of automatically, naturally shed. So it don't wear black like I am today, but he's doing really great. And Gideon is just really a perfect Akita. He is 7 years old. And he just is a lover. Now, a lot of people, in fact, we were talking, Ray, before we got on camera, and Ray says, oh, I'm not liking big dogs. You know, they have a look about them, but they are the biggest cuddlers in the world. Yeah. And, John, if they attach to you, they are so loyal to you, they're your new buddy for life.
And they also are a protective breed, too.
Very much,
so.
very much. They are part of that protective group where we have the Shepherds and the Rotties and the Dobes and that. And so, but they love to just play. They are mild-mannered, but they will be protective of you, and that's what you want. Yeah, look at this. That's my boy.
There's a sweet dog.
There's a boy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, does this dog you said is about 7 years old?
Yes, he is, John.
Gabriel.
He's about 7. Great health. And you know, he's a larger breed dog. We'd like to hang on to them for a long time. So I'm thinking that he's probably got a good 7, 8 years left of healthy years in his life. He loves to walk, he loves to play, and especially he loves to ride in cars. And you can imagine those second glances you get when you're driving with him, right?
What a beautiful, beautiful animal. And the process of adoption is
of course, to call the Florida Akita Rescue, and you can contact them at 603-289-8899, and of course fill out an application. They will come do a home visit, because you obviously do not want a 500 square foot condominium with this dog.
This is a dog that needs a yard.
He needs a yard.
Let's hope he gets adopted today. Gideon is his name. Give him a call and take him home. What a beautiful animal. Marcia, thanks very much.
Thanks, John.
We'll be right back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
Believe me, everybody wants to work in the White House. They all want a piece of that Oval Office. They want a piece of the West Wing. And not only in terms of it looks great on their resume, it's just a great place to work.
If the White House is such a great place to work, why do President Trump's top aides keep quitting? And what about the porn star? I'm Alan Cohn. Why not meet me at the trapezoid?
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com. Your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
I'll be right back. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
On the next Black Almanac.
As a member of the military, the 9th Cavalry, he carries that history with him, but he also carries a lot of the history of Manatee County. Mr. Lewis helped to integrate the schools, the original schools in Manatee County, when there were no schools for black kids.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Coming up, bombshell announcement, the latest on President Trump's plans to talk with the leader of North Korea. Plus, he said, surveillance video released of an altercation between two local school board members. And spring break warning, the U.S. is warning college students to avoid a particular country. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Our top story this half hour, South Korea. That's right, South Korea helped broker a meeting between the U.S. and North Korea. And as ABC's Tara Palmieri tells us, the summit caught much of the White House and the Pentagon by surprise.
A South Korean delegation came to Washington delivering a shocking proposal.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said he is committed to denuclearization.
A sit-down between President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
And he expressed his eagerness to meet President Trump as soon as possible.
The fateful meeting could happen as soon as May. The location has not been decided. President Trump promised to continue playing hardball, tweeting, "Great progress has been made, but sanctions will remain until an agreement is reached." Meeting being planned. The U.S. and South Korea will conduct their military exercises despite the invitation to start talks. The developments are a major shift in tone for President Trump, who has in the past vowed radical action.
They will be met with fire and fury.
He even criticized his own Secretary of State for attempts at diplomacy. But now Secretary Tillerson says the president has been willing to hear out the dictator he has repeatedly referred to as Rocket Man.
President Trump has said for some time that he was open to talks and he would willingly meet with Kim Jong-un when conditions were right.
A group of Republican senators sent a letter to the president warning of false promises from Kim Jong-un.
Let's find a way to work this thing out. It's going to be very difficult. You can't trust the North Koreans. But this summit arrangement, this summit meeting, is a bold step.
The North Korean economy has suffered greatly under the sanctions. They haven't launched an intercontinental ballistic missile since November 28th, more than 100 days ago. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Back in this area, an undercover sting by Sarasota police ends with the arrest of dozens of local drug dealers. They unveiled the result of an investigation an hour ago in downtown Sarasota. Adam Cellini is outside police headquarters with details of the sting. Adam, good afternoon.
Hey, Ray, thanks. And yeah, police were saying a recent operation resulted in nearly 50 arrests of street-level drug dealers in the city of Sarasota, selling a wide range of narcotics, most predominantly cocaine, according to police. This was called Operation Four Corners. Detectives went undercover buying narcotics from these individuals. And between all of the people arrested, there are over 1,000 former felony charges. 5 of these people even had 20 previous felony charges apiece. Here's Police Chief Bernadette Tapino on why the public should feel good about the result of this operation.
Drug crimes within our community cause just about every other crime within our community. Robberies, shootings, homicides, thefts from vehicles, burglaries, just thefts in general. Just about every crime that we deal with has something to do with the sale and possession of illegal narcotics.
Now, a representative of the state attorney's office also said that some of these dealers have already bonded out, but the focus of the prosecution will be to go after the longest possible prison sentences at the end of this road. Police also say 4 of the suspects from this operation are still at large, and you can check our website, mysuncoast.com, and Facebook and Twitter pages for updates on those 4 individuals. They are asking for the community's help, and we'll be bringing you hopefully more thoughts and reactions from the people close to where these drug arrests happen, all coming up later on this evening. For now, live in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Ray, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Other news now, a follow-up on a heated dispute between 2 Manatee County school board members. This is the surveillance video being investigated by Bradenton Police. Watch this now. The board chair, Scott Hopes, and board member David Miner got into a dispute during a recent school board meeting. They argued about the upcoming vote on a school tax referendum. Well, the feud spilled over to the parking lot where Hopes says Miner accelerated as he pulled out and nearly hit him. Let's watch this now. Hope says he called police to set an example to students.
Using profanity and telling me what a terrible person I was and that I shouldn't be on the board and I didn't know what I was doing.
Now, Miner didn't return our phone calls to tell his side of the story. The next school board meeting is set for Tuesday night. A warning to college students thinking about going to Mexico for spring break. The State Department is asking students and other U.S. citizens to avoid traveling to an area south of Cancun called Playa del Carmen. This after an explosive device was found on a tourist ferry last week, and also several passengers were injured when another device went off on a ferry 2 weeks earlier. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico issued a security alert warning of a, quote, security threat. Here is the State Department spokesperson.
We have directed U.S. government officials to not travel there at this time. So what the takeaway for American citizens should be that you need to consider that information before making your own decision to travel to that area.
This is a popular spot for college students on spring break. And a woman fell from a cruise ship after trying to take a selfie off the coast of the Bahamas. She's okay, though. Witnesses say she was on the 15th floor, sitting on the railing when she fell, holding onto a beam on one of the lower decks. Then she ended up falling the rest of the way.
The people on our balcony, a lot of people that were hanging out on our balcony, we did not think that she could possibly make it. I mean, from 15 floors down.
Somehow she's okay, though. Witnesses say the boat quickly turned around and rescued her. The Norwegian Cruise Line was from Port Canaveral on Florida's east coast. Well, chilly out there, John Scalzi.
Yeah, it started off the morning in the upper 40s, so that is definitely lower than average temperature. Not too bad this afternoon, though. We'll get up into the upper 60s. I think it'll feel pretty comfortable for most folks. Plus, the winds are going to die down a little bit. That'll make it feel better, too. A lot of blue sky out there. What a beautiful, beautiful afternoon we will have here on the Sun Coast. A deep blue sky. I mean, it's rare you see a sky that blue, except in the dead of winter. But, you know, we sure do have one out there now. And if you're a stargazer, tonight will be a beautiful night for you, I think. 63 degrees, the air temperature in Bradenton, 63 Lakewood Ranch, 65 now in downtown Sarasota. 63 degrees in Mayaca, and generally speaking, low to mid 60s is about average. Now that's about 4 or 5 degrees above where we were 24 hours ago at this time, even though we started off the morning some 10 to 15 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago. So we are certainly warming up. Now here's the big headline story, I think. The Severe Storms Prediction Center puts the area outlined in dark green, which includes us in a moderate risk of some severe weather over the weekend on Sunday. And we'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Looking ahead now, early voting starts tomorrow for the March 20th elections in both Manatee and Sarasota counties. The elections include the school district ad valorem millage in both counties, and also some voters will be asked about the Holiday Park and Recreation District, and also the town of Longboat Key general election. During the early voting period, you can cast ballots at any of the 3 election offices in Sarasota, Venice, or Northport. And in Manatee County, early voting tomorrow for the school board and Longboat Key elections, as well as the elections In Bradenton, you can vote at the Longboat Key Town Hall. Also, downtown Bradenton, voting day is March 20th. Also on the Suncoast, the domino effect continues in local state politics. State Representative Joe Gruder says he is going to run for the state Senate seat, held right now by Greg Stubbe, who is running for Congress to replace the retiring Tom Rooney. You still with me? Gruders was first elected back in 2016. He is also the current chairman of the Sarasota Republican Party, and also he was the co-chair of the Florida team to elect President Trump. Happening today, the Sarasota Balloon Festival is now underway at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Along with balloons, there's also food trucks, carnival rides, and a kids zone. Tethered hot air balloon rides start at $20 a person. Full flights are $250. That's a pretty shot right there. The festival will go on rain or shine, but balloon activity is subject to weather conditions. The Balloon Fest runs until Sunday. And a popular Suncoast boat ramp is back open today after a 9-month renovation. The North Coquina ramp on Gulf Drive is ready for boaters again. The ramp has a second boat launch, 3 new docks, and a paved parking lot as well. The boat dock was closed back in 2015 due to safety concerns there in Bradenton Beach. All right, back to Chef Judy now. She is live at Max's Table on Tamiami Trail in Osprey. Judy.
Introduce you to the owners, Angela and Dimitri. And Angela, tell us about Max's Table. I know there's a special meaning in the name.
There is a special meeting. Thank you so much for being here. We are 11 months old, 11 months young. Our restaurant, Max's Table, is named after our daughter, Max. Her initials are MAX. Her name is Maria Anastasia Zanitis. We named this restaurant after her, and actually we named the tacos after our son Stavi, so we had to throw him in there somewhere.
That makes perfect sense. I understand that. Now you're open. Tell us a little bit about you're open for breakfast and lunch, but I also see catering on the side.
We do a lot of catering. Actually, this week we had 3 catering jobs. Right now we're working on an official menu. All of what we do is custom. Dimitri went to culinary school, so he can do a variety of cuisine, a variety of different, from appetizer parties to weddings to just a luau we have tomorrow. So
it's so exciting. And Dimitri, as a professional chef, you have switched over from fine dining nighttime to breakfast and lunch. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good. I used to love working nights before I had kids and a family, and you know, as everyone knows, the restaurant business is hard on a family, so we decided to have nights off and open for breakfast and lunch.
It's brilliant. Speaking of which, I think it's time, because I cannot hold out another moment for you to start describing the food. Let's start with the ricotta pancakes.
Okay, so this is our lemon ricotta pancakes. It's lemon curd that's made in-house, wild blueberry sauce, and ricotta filling.
Keep going.
And next we have a crunchy French toast, which is a local brioche made by a local baker, salted caramel sauce, and fresh berries. Over here we have huevos rancheros in the front. My personal favorite, it's salsa roja, guacamole, a little pico de gallo, and 2 eggs.
And may I say, talk about farm fresh eggs. That really, look at the color of that. That's like right out from a farm in Italy or something. It's beautiful.
Up front we have the Cubano. It's made in-house. We do a mojo marinated pork shoulder that we slow cook and then shred. It's on a crispy Cuban bread.
Now, I really love burgers, I have to tell you. It's a toss-up whether I have the burger or the pancakes later. Let's talk about this burger.
Okay, that's our one of our most popular burgers. We have a smokehouse burger with crispy fried onions that were marinated in buttermilk, applewood smoked bacon, cheddar cheese, and chipotle barbecue sauce.
Oh my gosh. And if you want to go on the lighter side, let's talk about salads, so fresh.
Okay, so we have a lot of salads in-house with homemade dressings. This is a roasted beet salad with goat cheese, dried cranberries, and walnuts.
And you can get shrimp or chicken on that if you prefer?
We can even add gyro to it, so.
You're just killing me. I'm just going to sell my house and move closer to you. And of course, the famous tacos named after your son.
Yes, so fish tacos, blackened mahi with a Napa cabbage slaw, crumbled feta, little chipotle crema, and this is our house salsa.
Unbelievable. And Bloody Marys and fresh mimosas.
Yes.
Bloody Marys, mimosas, we have bellinis. Those are very popular on the weekend.
Yep.
And as you can see, there's a meal in the drink, so people really love that touch. Little bacon, we do it.
It's wonderful. I love you have one that has like a caprese picket in as well. So we have a minute left, and I have to say, you know, my first restaurant was a breakfast and lunch restaurant north of Boston. And what is it like to work together?
Well, the good news is that I'm up front and Dimitri is in the back.
That's the way to make it
so
work, right?
Each of us are in our element.
Yeah.
We really, both of us, love getting to know the locals. We have regulars that come every single day. You know, from being familiar with breakfast, some people come at the same time every day. We're like family. We're lucky that we have our Max's family and we're able to spend time with our family at home. So it's been wonderful.
It's perfect. Now it's dog friendly on the patio outside. How many people does it seat outside?
About
24.
So I'm telling you, there's long lines. It's worth it. I'll be back in a few minutes for another taste and a little dessert.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are music to your ears, like the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. Or head over to Muscle Shoals and Fame Studios. Are you a star yet?
My mama thinks so.
Or, if that's your stomach I hear grumbling, our barbecue is almost a religious experience. Food good here? Best in the country. Alabama's got 100 road trips.
Which one you gonna take?
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperatures across the region rebounding nicely with the influence of a little bit of sunshine out there and some winds that have lessened in speed, so it allows the ground to heat, and that heats the air just above the ground, of course, and we get temperatures that are currently in the mid-60s to lower 60s on their way to the probably upper 60s to even low 70s in some locations. So pretty nice afternoon in store for you. Dew point values, though, still ridiculously low. A 27-degree dew point. That is remarkable for this time of year. And we'll probably see that dew point rising over the next 24 hours as our winds begin to shift. We'll go with about a 70-degree temperature or thereabouts at around 3 p.m. I'll go with 68, but this computer model particularly shows 70. It's split the difference, right? We're looking at temperatures that fall off pretty quickly, though, as we head into the evening hours because of that dry air in place. And you might need a light wrap if you're going to dine al fresco this evening, I think. And then as we head into the midnight hour, we bottom out in the lower 50s to maybe some upper 40s in places. And then tomorrow morning when you wake up, there'll be fairly clear skies, I think, but it will be a chilly start to the morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll warm even more. We'll probably get into the low to mid 70s tomorrow, but things are going to cloud up a little bit, and the cloudiness is caused by a developing area of low pressure back to the west. That area of low pressure will advance into our direction, and by Saturday evening, factor in a chance of rainfall. Now, on Sunday, there's the potential for some pretty widespread rainfall across the state of Florida, as this second computer model that I'm showing you indicates. And then all of that moves out of here on Monday as we start to clear out. Rainfall futurecast, well, I'll tell you what, honestly, confidence is pretty low in the amount of rain that we're going to get because we have different computer models coming up with differing solutions right now. This event is still 3 days out. So we have some areas that are forecasting as much as a 3-inch rainfall or better in the southern part of the state, 1.5 inches for us. But other computer models are not so aggressive with the amount of rain that we get. One thing I can tell you is that as high pressure builds in and that low develops out in Gulf waters, we will get rainfall on Sunday. The question is whether or not it will be severe, and we're still refining forecasts on that, and it's kind of early to tell. We're waiting for computer models to come into better agreement on that. As we head into probably Saturday, we'll have a better idea. But even this evening, Bob coming in at 5, he'll have updated computer models to look at, and he'll forecast for you as well and give you a better idea of what to expect on Sunday. So just keep your eye to the sky, download our weather app, and check in with the website from time to time to get a better idea. One thing I can tell you is it's nice boating today, but the wind speeds will be going up as we head into the weekend. 68 today, we'll go with 75 tomorrow, late shower chances. Sunday, a 60% chance of rain, potentially some severe weather. We'll call it a first alert weather day. And then the rest of the work week looks like it'll be pretty nice, though, but a lot cooler with temperatures only in the mid 60s. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Consumer news now. This weekend, we move the clocks ahead for daylight savings time, and that's not all we should do. Our Marla Spence has a story.
As we spring forward, in just a few days, the Red Cross and fire officials say this is a good time to check those smoke detectors.
We certainly recommend testing it at least twice a year.
Along with testing your detector, Red Cross officials say to change your batteries often and to make sure you replace your smoke detector every 10 years.
We just pulled some out of a home not too long ago that were 17 years old. So yeah, they may have still tested appropriately, but at that point you want to make sure that you've got a little bit newer technology.
If you can't afford to replace all your detectors at one time, the Red Cross will replace them for free.
We actually go out into the community and we'll do an entire, as an example, an entire mobile home community in a day. So if you have a 2-bedroom home, we'll put in 2 detectors and the third one will go in the hallway.
The easy part about Red Cross installing your detector is that you don't have to replace the batteries because it comes with a lithium battery that lasts for 10 years.
It allows those occupants not to have to worry about changing the battery, because what the fire service found and we found in the Red Cross was many of those folks had either taken the batteries out or they hadn't changed them and they were dead. So this kind of alleviates that, and it also alleviates the concern for having to change the battery.
Just this week, the local Red Cross canvassed Tree Lakes community in Manatee County, installing 67 free smoke alarms and educating 34 families about fire safety. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Very nice service. Still to come on your Suncoast News, 3 new judges, new network, and a new night. Up next, we'll preview this weekend's return of American Idol.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Goode, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android. Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
You know, I always like to finish with dessert. So here at Max's Table, they make everything homemade. And Javier, tell us what we have today.
Right, we make everything in the house. Everything is homemade. Chef Dimitri is tried by
is this like a chocolate brownie?
This is a warm chocolate brownie with pecans, some salted caramel and Nutella sauce.
Oh my gosh, sounds amazing. And tell me about the key lime pie.
We also it's our traditional key lime pie, Florida key lime pie with fresh berries and whipped cream, raspberry or blueberry coulis.
And sometimes you have a special Greek dessert?
We do. Dimitri sometimes makes our Greek baklavas. You know?
Yeah, you gotta love that when you have great. And I have to tell you, Javier and Dimitri have worked together for over 11 years. So building this restaurant out and doing it together, he's part of the family. And I'm gonna tuck into the lemon ricotta pancakes because homemade lemon curd, I mean, you can go ahead and have a bite with me, dude. I'll share. Make sure you come out to Max's Table for lunch or breakfast. Breakfast served all day till 2:30 in Osprey. Have a great weekend, everybody. I know I'm off to a good start.
Good. All right. Thank you, Judy. Entertainment news now. American Idol returns this weekend, this time on ABC, and with 3 new judges. ABC's Dania Backus has our preview.
Just staying up and waking up with you.
The blockbuster show that's produced more megastars than any other ever is back.
It's full of goodness. It's full of hope. It's full of dreams coming true. It's true Americana.
Superstar judges Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and that iconic blue tour bus set on a journey across the nation.
This is fresh, and I think it is because we're not going to bring the other stuff. What we're bringing is the new package.
This has been my dream.
To discover a new crop of talent worthy of earning a golden ticket to Hollywood.
It's a gift. It's a blessing. It's like winning the freaking lottery, and we get to give them the ticket.
The judges say they know what they're looking for.
We're the artists, so we know what they're thinking.
Yeah,
we know what they're feeling. We're either going to do 2 things. We're either going to inspire you to go forward or tell you the truth and tell you there's no shot.
But Luke Bryan saying telling contestants no isn't always easy.
When somebody doesn't need to make it through, there's no way around. You've got to say no. And that is so, I mean, I'm like, Oh God, I gotta tell him no. I gotta tell him no.
And don't expect producers to stray away from the traditional Idol format. Returning host Ryan Seacrest says there's no need to change what has always worked.
We're not going to reinvent the wheel. The show is the show at its core. It works at its core.
Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And finally, a 1973 job application from Apple co-founder Steve Jobs is expected to sell big at auction. Jobs was just 18 years old when he filled out the application seeking employment as an electronics tech or design engineer. The application doesn't feature any past employment history and lists his address as Reed College, where he attended college before he dropped out. The auction house expects to sell the document for over $50,000. Interesting collector's item there.
You're not kidding. Interesting thing, he says he doesn't have a telephone on the application.
Oh, good point. All right. Have a great weekend. See you back here Monday on Good Morning Suncoast.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.